For some reason, we have all been brainwashed that our 20s and 30s are the times that we need to have it all figured out. We need to set the foundation for our career. We need to start to find the right partner. And by the time we're 30, we should probably have a down payment for our house, which it all feels so overwhelming. But what if I told you some of the most successful people, they didn't have it figured out straight away? It's a constant process of trial and error and pivoting before you actually get to build that career, that business, that life that you love. I'm Annie, I'm a brand and web designer and founder of MTstudio, and I have been for the longest time in this hamster wheel, in this rush against the clock, trying to figure out what I want to do, being funneled down this path of figuring out your career, picking your degree, graduating, going into a steady 9-to-5. But somehow I diverted my path and started freelancing on the side and realized that you can really define the terms if you choose to. You don't need a perfect plan. All you need is the courage to do the thing that your heart desires so you don't wake up in your 40s filled with regret and wondering what if. First, let's touch on some real-world examples of people who experimented, failed, and then kept going. Jeff Bezos, I didn't know this, he worked in finance before quitting his job to start Amazon at 30 years old. Oprah Winfrey, she started as a news anchor, but she got fired at one point, and that's how she started to pivot into talk shows. Steve Jobs, of course, is a phenomenon of someone who succeeded very young, but he also dropped out of college. He was pursuing calligraphy, and that's one thing that influenced the design direction for Apple as well. A lot of the people we admire, they didn't have their lives perfectly mapped out in their 20s. We need to really zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Our life, it should be calculated in decades. Our lives probably will progress to the 60, 70, 80, 90-year-old mark. And being so fixated on the 20s and 30s is simply unfair. Now let's dive into the 3 ways to make the most out of your 20s and 30s. Number 1 is to experiment with different industries and different modes of work. So instead of just going down the default 9-to-5 career path where you go into an office block and work there all day for 5 days a week, try freelancing on the side maybe, or try to find a position that allows for remote work. One silver lining out of the COVID pandemic is that remote work has become more normalized than ever before. Every single one of my clients, I work with them on a remote basis, which means I have the time freedom to work whenever I want, wherever I want, and saves me an hour or 2 every single day of commute. And also try out different industries. This comes from Ali Abdal's career sampling advice, where he says try different industries and different business models before committing to one. Don't pick a career based on what you think is safe, but pick one based on what really energizes you. By the way, if you are someone who wants to go down that freelance path and you don't know where to get started, or you have gotten started but you're struggling to find your next client, I'm going to be hosting a live masterclass where I'm going to walk you through how to step-by-step get from $0 to your first 10K month. And this isn't just theory, this is literally the step-by-step business system that has helped me reach over $130,000 last year, which means consistent 10K month after month, without burning out, without overwhelm, having high quality clients, charging a premium rate, and anyone, including you, can do it. So join me by scanning the QR code on the left right here or via the description box below, and I'll see you there. My second tip is to develop a failure tolerance. Alex Hormozi said the people who succeed are the people who fail the most, because every single failure is a data point for them to learn and improve from. The book The Lean Startup says that the best entrepreneurs and the most successful businesses are the ones who fail fast. Don't aim for perfection, because that is out of your control. Experiment, fail, pivot, adapt, and that is the path to progression and true success. Now ask yourself this question: what is that one thing that you've been avoiding for the longest time ever because you're afraid of failing, and go do it. Tip number 3 is to build a high value skill stack. And this is advice from Naval Ravikant, where he says that the most successful careers are built on a combination of skills, not just one specialty. So what does this mean? So if you're good at one thing, for example, copywriting, you're really good at photography, or for me, I'm good at design. That is what I specialized in university. I could go ahead and go work in an agency and monetize that specialty skill set. However, in the experience of freelancing, I learned other things like how to market yourself on social media, how to sell yourself to clients, how to negotiate pricing, how to build my first website. And those skills are actually monetizable if you want to go back into corporate, if you want to work for a client. So now, instead of just graphic design, I build websites for clients. I also do social media marketing for clients as well. That is skills that I learned by doing it for myself. And now that I'm doing content on YouTube, I can also turn that into a service I provide to clients as well. At the end of the day, for anyone who's feeling pressured to achieve, to hone in, to niche down, my dad also told me when I was growing up, from his years of business experience, he wished that he had just honed in on one skill set and continued developing that to be the best in his industry, and that's a way to guarantee success. However, in reality, it is so hard to get to that point without experimenting first. If you don't experiment, you wouldn't know what you enjoy or what you dislike. For me, if I didn't go into an agency, I wouldn't realize that that is not the path for me. I used to want to do fashion design, I used to want to do architecture, and then I realized these things didn't work. I can't do that for years and years on end. And that is totally fine. That is not failure, that is progress. To summarize, make sure you try different industries, try different career modes before committing to one. Make sure you develop a failure tolerance, because failure equals data. Then make sure that you are continuously stacking your skills, learning new things, and never to settle for something that you think is less than. And if you're curious how to turn your passion or your skills into a highly profitable career through freelancing, make sure to join my 10K month masterclass. And if you found this video helpful, I know you're also going to love this one right here, where I dive into how to actually make a living doing what you love. If you enjoy listening on the go, we also have a podcast called the Brand Creative Podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!